Steven, go on your YouTube and see if you could see my live. Go on your YouTube. Okay, I'm seeing people now. Are you on there, Steven? Make a comment. Don't forget to double tap the screen, Steven. Hi, Deb. Come in. I'm gonna start off by getting the dough ready for my bread. So right now I got 2 cups of water. It's hot water. I'm waiting for it to get to temp. I want it between about 108 and 110 degrees. But while it's this hot, I'm going to add honey to my water. Hi, Life with the Red Vizsla. Hi, John. Welcome in, everybody. I have a 1/4 cup of raw honey. I'm going to put that in my hot water while it's getting to temp because it dissolves a little bit better. I use honey as my sweetener in my bread. And then I just kind of mix that in my water a little bit. And I have 1 tablespoon of active dry yeast. I store it in my refrigerator, so I take it out and let it get to room temperature before I make my bread. All right, that's pretty dissolved. And then I just keep temping my water because I want to wait until it gets to about anywhere between 108 and 110. Right now it's registering 118. You don't want it too hot because it will kill the yeast. So while I'm just waiting for that, I'll chit-chat and read the chat. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Make sure you're double tapping the screen. And if you haven't subbed, please sub. Please sub. My words are coming out really funny. Welcome in. Welcome in. I can't. Welcome in, Elizabeth. Welcome in. So we're waiting for this water to get to temp, and then once it gets to temp, I will pour in my active dry yeast. Nice. Just so you know, we're not going to talk like that in here. If you do, we will boot you out. So that is your warning. Hi Mel, welcome in. Hi Usman. I'm making sandwich bread. Hi Mike, welcome in. All right, I warned you, and now you're out of here. I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. Hi Tracy, welcome in. Hi, Amic. Welcome in. I am right now. I got 2 cups of water with a 1/4 cup of honey in it. I'm waiting for it to get to about 110 degrees before I put in my yeast. Come on, light. There we go. Right now it's at about 112. And I have a water cooler with hot and cold water, so I just pulled my hot water out of the cooler. And I got a tablespoon of dry active yeast that I put into a dish to get to room temperature because I store it in my fridge. I guess it's safe to say that the yeast will rise to the occasion. We are praying. It should. The yeast, the bottle of yeast I got, I haven't had a failed loaf yet. Okay. Hi, Xander. My name's Deborah, and this is my kitchen. My kitchen, my rules. Let's see, I got honey on here, and that's gonna get sticky. Still about 112. So it'll be just a few minutes before it gets to where I can empty in the yeast. I'm just having some din din before I head out for heading out to Dash. I am actually going to be making dinner as soon as I get this bread dough mixed. I am making shake and bake pork chops, fried potatoes with onion, and a veggie. I might even cut potatoes in between doing the bread here while the yeast is proofing. Hi, Sam. Welcome in. Your channel is about gloves. Okay. I do have disposable gloves. You're laughing at that? My husband's watching in the background. He's reading your guys' chats. Hi, William. Welcome in. You know, I don't have any mods in here, so let's there you go. I got a mod in here now. There you go. There you popped up, Blue. Hi, Joe. How are you? You're welcome. We are making bread. I'm waiting for my water to get just to the right temperature before I add in the yeast. Oh, she got hotter. Ooh, that's not good. Well, she's about 111 right now. So, another couple minutes. I have to get a new digital thermometer. My screen on it's not very clear. I think it's because I threw it in a thing of water and I shouldn't have. We tried throwing it in rice. It still works. It's just the screen's not real clear. Are you on a phone, Xander? If you're on a phone, you just have to double tap the screen. Otherwise, you just hit the like button if there's a like button with a thumbs up. No, I will not. This is my kitchen. I do what I want to do. If you're on a phone, you can just tap the screen twice and that gives a thumbs up. That will like the live. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. There we go. Awesome. Thank you, Xander. We appreciate that. If you don't mind, if you click on the name above and go to my channel and subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated too. Everything helps. So I got 2 cups of warm water here and a 1/4 cup of honey that I dissolved in that warm water. Yeast, when you put yeast into bloom, the warm water and the sugar is like food to the yeast, so it helps the yeast along. It's easy if your water gets to temp in time, but my water's taking a little bit. A lot of times I do this and I'll go and watch TV until my water gets right. Did my chat freeze? Let's see. Oh no, it didn't. There we go. My day is good. My day is good. I got my living room picked up, cleaned up, vacuumed, kitchen cleaned up, dishes done. Very accomplishing day. I didn't go out and dash today. We're not going out tomorrow because it's going to get minus 45 at 8 a.m. this morning, or in the morning. They did call off. Well, my son didn't have school in the first place tomorrow. They had a teacher thing, so they really didn't have to call off school for him tomorrow, but all the schools are getting shut down tomorrow because it's going to be in the negative 40s. Almost. And the reason I put my honey in my water while it's hot, it dissolves a little bit better than putting it in with the mixture in my mixer. Got a lot of stuff on my stand here. I don't have a lot of room in this apartment. I don't have storage room, so my cat's at my feet. He's yelling at me. No, you don't come up here. No, go on. Go on yourself. He will surely hop up here. He went up on my stove just a minute ago. Why do I feel like this is getting hotter and not cooler? I'm being serious. It's like, maybe it's my thermometer. Or I'm just anxious to make the bread. And you don't want to put it in there because if you cook it, that's a big no-no. You know? Hi, Mad Dasher. Welcome in. We have a celebrity in the chat. Everybody say hi to the Mad Dasher. Don't forget to go and check out his channel. He did a weather report. Very good spot on weather report. Go check out them shorts. Hi, Lisa. I am making sandwich bread, actually. I got 2 cups of water with a 1/4 cup of honey in it. That's why it's brown. It's not because our water's that color. And right now I'm waiting for it to get to temp. And nope, she's still too hot. You gotta wait for it to get around 100 to 110 degrees. And then I got a tablespoon of room temperature yeast. And once that gets to temp, I can put the 2 together and mix them, and then we let them bloom for 10 minutes. He stalks you. He wants to make sure you're working hard for his money. Yes, the apron, the apron. He created the picture. Not me. That is not my artwork. I'm not trying to get flour all on my clothes, so I'm going to wear it. Don't forget to double tap that screen, subscribe, do all of the above. You do that, it gets me out there, and people will start coming in and watching. We're just going to go with the flow. We are going to enter the yeast into the cup. She is going to enter the house. Put it in there. Let it sit on the top for a little bit before you mix it. Otherwise, it just gets all over the place on the sides of the cup. And then you want to kind of give it a little mixy mix. It'll smell like a fine beer once it has proofed. And it'll be all nice and frothy and foamy. Just making sure I get it all. And I'm just going to take the bowl, instead of just covering it with a towel, and put that over the top of it. And set it off for a little bit. And that's got to do its thing for like 10 minutes. Then in that time, I'm going to wash some potatoes and cut some potatoes up. Yes, yes, and I have this recipe down pat. This makes actually 2 loaves of bread, by the way. Potatoes. And it's just me and my husband eating, so, and my son. So I'm only making enough potatoes for me and him and my son. Wash your potatoes. They grow them in dirt. They don't get them clean. Awesome. I'm here for the bread. You're here for the bread. The bread takes a little process. You gotta wait for that yeast to activate itself before you can do anything with it. So I'm just gonna get my meal prep going. I'm gonna cut up some potatoes for, don't mind how loud this sounds as I'm chopping. If I get nervous, I will whip out my cheese slicer and we'll go to town with it. I use knives to cook. Everybody uses knives to cook. Just don't chop your fingers off on a live. Nobody wants to see that. We are doing fried potatoes and onions, shake and bake pork chop, and a vegetable tonight. Yes, I've cut my fingers numerous times. Doesn't help that my knives are kind of dull. I do have one good knife, and I'm afraid to use it while I'm on live because if I slip, that's it. I'm just cutting them into thin slices. And if anybody has any tricks or ideas on how to, I've cut cilantro and a lot of things on this board, and I soak it, and I've soaked it in bleach water, and I still can't get those cut lines out of it. Probably throw it away and get a new one. That's the best one I've heard. Much love, much love. There, I survived the potato cutting. Did not lose a finger. Now I'm gonna chop up an onion here, and my yeast is just about bloomed, and I'll show you guys how frothy it gets. It's like a magic trick. It grows. When you do your onion, make sure you get the yellow, dark yellow part off. You don't want to eat that. But if you save your stuff, You can actually put this in the oven and dehydrate these peels and even that other layer of onion in there. It takes a lot though. You need a lot of them. And you can actually put it in a food processor or a coffee grinder and you can make your own onion powder. But I will not be doing that because it takes a lot. So I'll just be throwing it into the garbage receptacle. All right. I am cutting up onion for these potatoes. Don't mind if I have a good cry. And put what you want, how much you want in your potatoes, you know. If you like a lot of onion, put a whole heck of a lot of onion in there. To me, it's like a 50-50. My onions are strong. Woo! Woo, Nelly. Woo! Good trick. If I worked at a sub shop when I was younger, and when we would cut onions, they would tell us to go in the cooler. The cooler or refrigerator or freezer calms that burning sensation in your eyes. So, needless to say, I'd be in and out of the cooler a lot of onions at that sub shop. I think that's about it. That's about all the onion I can handle right now. Woo. All right. Alright, dry my hands. Now I'm going to show you the yeast. Moving my flour and my oil over. Alright, so she had bloomed. She is all bubbly. You can kind of see the layer on the top. Hi, Abby. Welcome in. So now, let me see if put the head of my mixer down. I'm going to try to bring my mixer over into sight. Be careful not to lose toes. So I have a KitchenAid mixer, and that's what I'm using my, I got an onion here. How the heck did I do that? Did it chop up and fly up? Alright, so it's going to be oniony bread. I'm going to put my dough hook on here. Alright. So my yeast is activated. I'm going to pour that into my mixing bowl. This does make 2 loaves of bread. And in that yeast mixture, it's 2 cups of hot water at about 110 degrees, a 1/4 cup of honey, and that's diluted in the water, and a tablespoon of dry active yeast. And then in my mixer, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil, or you can use avocado oil. And honey is my sweetener to my bread. Keep your oil to the side. You'll need that to grease your bowl once you get it to a ball. And then you need, we're going to go with 4.5 cups of flour. I'm going to start out with 4, mix it, and gradually add that other half cup, because if I have to add more or less, then I'll do that. And I just pour flour into a 1 cup measuring cup. I don't like level it. And I put 1, 2, and this is bread flour, 3, and that makes 4, and I still got another half to another cup. I could put a little part of my finger here to measure. That's about a teaspoon. That's about a teaspoon. And then it's going to get loud with my mixer on. I put it in the lock mode. Do not go above speed 2 or you'll have flour everywhere. And actually it should stay on speed 2 the whole entire time you're making your dough. Okay, I need to towel. And it takes a minute and it'll come together. It'll form a dough. And the reason I only put the 4 in and then I'll gradually add that last cup is because it depends on your humidity and all that stuff when you're mixing dough. You live in the UK? Yeah, you need to get sleep. It's important. Sleep makes you have a good day. I was tired yesterday. Alright, so I'm going to turn my mixer off. And I'm going to add that other half cup of flour in here. That's about a half cup. Remember, don't go above speed 2. It will spit flour. And you can do this by hand. I'm just doing it in my mixer because it's a whole heck of a lot easy. And then you want to mix this until it pulls away from the side of the bowl and comes together in one uniform ball of dough. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to need more than 4.5 today. Good night, Abby. Thank you for coming in. There she goes. Now the other thing too is I might have to add a little bit more because when she comes together like that, you want to check. You see her on the hook. You're going to see her on the hook. She should be sticky, but not sticking to your fingers. Alright, so she's ready. Now I'm going to just take her off my hook. Don't be afraid to get gunky. Not used to my mixer being right here. I'm used to being over there. this off of here. And I'm going to put my mixer back. There we go. So then I'm going to take my dough out of here. Maybe I'll add a little bit more flour and do it by hand for you guys. She feels a little sticky. Yes, I just put her on my counter, but you did see I did clean it. So I'm going to need in a little bit more flour. That motor on that mixer, I don't want to overdo it either because you could fry your mixer. And I'm just kneading it with the palm of my hand. There we go. She's coming together fine now. I'm going to make her into a ball. This is not necessary. You don't have to do that. I just do it. I'm going to take a little olive oil, about a tablespoon or two in the bottom of my bowl. And then I just bring her in there, roll her around in it, get her greased up so she doesn't stick in the bowl. And then I wash off my hands. Olive oil is very good for your skin, by the way. Alright, so now you want to cover it with a towel or whatever, but I have disposable shower caps because I also do sourdough and I got on that trail and these come in handy. And then you're just going to set it off to the side and let that do its thing. It can take about an hour to 2 hours depending on your room temperature. And then I clean up my mess. Gotta always clean it up. I'm going to put this on my counter and snap the lid on. And then I clean up my mess. And then I'll bring you guys over to my stove and we'll start cooking supper. Now, the pork chops I'm cooking are a little bit thicker than what I'm normally used to cooking, so they might take a little bit longer to cook. Alright, I'll just set her over here for now. Get you guys in view. Come along for my crazy little ride. Get my little stand up. So in here, I'm going to turn my pan to maybe a medium, just a little bit below medium. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of oil in there. You can use whatever oil choice you want. I'm just using corn oil or vegetable oil, whatever you want to call it. foil very often. About 2 tablespoons. If you need more down the road, you can always put a little bit more in. Just to make sure they don't stick to your pan as they're cooking. Onion, garlic, salt, pepper. You're going to season your potatoes the way you like it. I'm doing onion powder, garlic powder, salt, and pepper. Generously seasoned the suckers. And I'll probably season them again halfway through. This is garlic powder. If you want to put more of that on there, go for it. Onion powder. Even though there's onion in here, it's just a combo I like. They sold it all in one jar. I think they might. I should really get it. And then I'm going to kind of mix them around a little bit so that oil gets in there and around. And I'll also get that seasoning mixed up. How is everybody's night going? Shake and bake. Oh, yep, definitely. Now they hit the generic brand. Generic brand used to have the bag in it. Shake and Bake got rid of it. Now the generic brand did. So we'll get a Ziploc bag. Ziploc bag. What else did I need? The pork. And then I need a baking pan. I have a well-seasoned baking pan, but I line it with foil for easy cleanup. This steam is making me hungry. The stream is making me hungry. I got up close and personal to see the R. So I'm just lining my baking sheet with foil for easy cleanup. Who likes to wash dishes? Not this girl. But I'm the only dishwasher, so. I closed it. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm going to try putting the internet back on. It might loop during that process. Did it come back? Okay. I'm going to pan my pan. Keeps it from sticking. Shake my pork chops. Sorry about the circle of death. I cannot control that. It's odd because usually in my house I don't get that. Just want to make sure they get coated really good. So I'll probably do this another time besides the one I'm already doing. First coating. Make sure you're stirring your stuff so it doesn't burn. Oh yeah, crispy bits. Love it. Love it. I jabbed my finger really good. If you don't know how to shake and bake, I don't know what to tell you. It's the easiest way to cook since 80s and 90s. Now I'm doing it again for a second time after it rested a minute. And you don't have to use just a pork one. I'm using actually the chicken one because that flavor I like. Steven, yeah. Are you on my YouTube or going through your YouTube? I just flattered myself with Shake and Bake. Because that might do it too. And then you just dispose of the other stuff. And then I gotta wash my hands. I think I got Shake and Bake in my hair. Happy accident. Happy, 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 joy, joy. She's getting... Alright, so the idea is to get these cooked without burning them. My onions are a little on the crispy, but that's okay. So I'm going to take that off the heat for right now. Move, princess. Make sure I got the right lid. I don't think that's the right one. I have a lid for this pan. Nope, we do not. So, innovative thinking. We're going to take a pizza pan that's well seasoned and put it over the top, let them suckers steam. And then we're going to put these in the oven. My husband cooked a pizza in there, it's smoking. So my oven's smoking because my husband cooked a pizza in there and it's got the bits in there and it's burning off. I thought at first it was my potatoes, but that's that smell. No, it's not that bad. It just got, I just saw it when I opened it, that's all. So now it's a waiting game till the pork chops get somewhat done, and then I'll turn on that fry pan again. So we will put it back here. Come on, stand. My son broke it. And we're gonna wait, like, my dough is like almost doubled. So she's gonna be ready to put in the pans. I will have to divide it into 2 equal parts. And then I put it in the bread pans, and then they gotta sit and rise in those bread pans. Oh, geez. School calling. The school calling to tell us they're canceling today and tomorrow. I ended that call. Everybody's calling. There is no school for Friday. Yay, kids. Even though my son didn't have school. Hi, Kaylee. Welcome in. Hi, Life. Welcome in. My husband loves me too. He loves my cooking. Make sure you double tap that screen and subscribe if you haven't. The more you double tap, the more people can come in and watch my live. I'm actually pretty awake today. I'm well rested. My nose is running, so sorry. I'm well rested, so I'm in better spirits than yesterday. Of course, I didn't dash today. I stayed home today. I'm going to stay home tomorrow, too. I am not going to venture out in that. Because last time I went out and it was like minus 25 or 30 below, the wind would... I would try to face away from the wind and it hit me right in the back. And I didn't like how I felt the next day. It's not worth going out there and then coming up with body aches the next day. They don't tip you enough for the body aches. Now, how long does it say? Code, I had 25 minutes with bone, 15 minutes without bone. So I am actually not, I'm gonna cook mine until it gets temp. Yeah, dude, you did a number in my oven. I don't think I've ever seen it smoke like that. Yeah, you got a glob in the bottom of my oven. He's fired. He's no longer allowed to cook pizzas in my oven. I might have to open the window for a bit. I got this window open. Hopefully the smoke detectors don't go off. There's nothing I can do. It's too late. It's too hot in there to try to scrape that up too. It's just gonna have to cook off. Just make sure the doors to the bedrooms are closed because that'll trigger the alarm. That's why when you make a pizza, you use a pizza pan. Or put a pan underneath the rack. I usually do the cooking, but he made a pizza this afternoon. He was hungry. I should have checked the bottom of my oven before I went and turned it on. Well, it'll wipe right out now. That's funny. So I have 2 glass baking pans. I'm going to spray them with a cooking spray. My bread's almost doubled. So that tells you my yeast is very good yeast. Then I gotta put them in here, shape them, put them in here, and then they gotta do another rise till they get to about the top of the pan. And then they go in the oven and they bake at 350 for 30 minutes. Or until they're as dark brown as you want on top. And then you pull them out and you coat the top of them with a little bit of butter. It'll keep the top part from getting too crunchy. And then you put it on a cooling rack till completely cold and then you put away. I really like this bread. It's a really good bread recipe. So it could be 1 2-pound loaf, or you can do 2 bread pans. And I don't cover the top of it in the oven when it's in there at 350 You just gotta make sure you got enough room for it to rise a little bit in your pans. I'm so tired of this. I wish the drippy part would stop. But the benefit is I can breathe now. But I got this constant nasal drip since surgery. No, I didn't burn anything. That's just something that was in the bottom of the oven. I will. I'm actually a lot better than what I have been. I was real nasally after surgery, and it was a lot of bad congestion. And I didn't want to go live. I didn't want to do much. I would go in people's chats and chat, but I wasn't myself for a little while. I am making shake and bake pork chops, boneless ones, and I'm making fried potatoes and a vegetable. I'm probably going to have asparagus, and my husband's going to have mixed vegetables. And then I did, see, my bread is kind of almost doubled. I'm doing 2 loaves of sandwich bread. My husband wants eggs and toast, so we might have eggs and toast tomorrow. I'm going to close that window because it's already getting cold. Pretty soon well, actually, I probably could dump it out now. It's not going to really matter. So I got a little bench scraper. And I'm going to take my dough out of the bowl. And I'm going to divide it in half. And I'm going to kind of stretch it to the length of the pan. I don't know if you guys can see that too much, but before I put it in the pan, I'll show you. And I'm going to just roll it, kind of like a log, seam side down. Oh, I got to spray the pan. That would have been a oops. Oops, I did it again. Spray your pan. Otherwise the bread will stick. And I'll show you once I get it. And I'm going to tightly roll the bread and put in my other baking bread. Tap that bread. Seam side down. And it should look kind of like this in the pan. And I'm just going to take a towel, cover them until they rise to the top. And then I clean up my mess. Called multitasking, and that'll also make French toast if we wanted it. I'm always wiping my surfaces. I'm sorry. It's just a OCD thing. And then I try to put some cold water in my bowl that I had the dough in. I will not pour any of that dough bit in my drains. I actually will drain out the cold water and I will paper towel and get that dough when it loosens from the bowl. Any type of bread, like sourdough or anything when you're making it, you don't want to dump any dough down your drain. It will harden like a rock and cause you to have a plumber come out. So you gotta be careful when you're cleaning your utensils and everything from it. How are you tonight, Kaylee? How are you feeling? If you're still here. You are still here. William's still here. I'm beyond tired. Okay. Now, how much further along do you have to go? I noticed when I got to about my 7th and 8th month, it was really rough. And he was a small baby. He was only 5 pounds. And I couldn't imagine anything bigger than that. I got pictures of my husband and him, and he was so tiny. I'm due April, so about 2 months or so. Oh yeah, just rest. Rest as much as you can. The last few months are really rough. You gotta be blessed though, because you're not going through the real hot months being fully pregnant. So I had my son in November. I went through the hot months being pregnant. She's moving. She's very active. That's good though. That's very good. My son didn't move much. He was head down. He didn't kick much. He didn't do much of that. I think I felt him a couple times. We even tried doing this thing where you take a flashlight over the tummy, and we tried playing it. It was called like a flashlight game to try to get him to move around to the light. It didn't do much. My son was November 19th. My due date was actually December 8th, I believe. But because I had high blood pressure, I got induced early. I think I had him at 38 weeks. 38, yeah. And I almost got admitted right after I had him because we couldn't get my blood pressures to come down. My feet were like massive balloons. couldn't tell if I had toes. But you know, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I didn't want kids growing up. I never wanted to have kids. But when me and my husband got married, I had a couple miscarriages, and I was like, oh, I'm pregnant, it's not going to happen. I said something to the doctor down in Tennessee, and they put me on progesterone. And my doctor, when we got back up here, said that was the best thing they could have done, because that actually saved me from having a miscarriage, because my blood is type O, I believe it, type O, and my husband's is type B, and the two bloods don't mix well. So my blood was trying to actually get rid of the baby. It thought of it as like a foreign antibody is how I can describe it. But when they gave me that progesterone, it actually helped, and I think that's what it was. I don't know, I didn't like taking them though. They were terrible. But then I got back here, and after I was so far along, they took me off of that. And they monitored me. But he's a miracle. November 7th. My nephew's is November 9th. Mine's November 30th. My nephew's November 9th. Michael's is November 19th. Mine's the 30th. And then it goes into my other siblings. My mom's was December 2nd. My mother was December 4th. No, my mother's December 2nd. My brother's December 14th. My niece is December 29th. And then it goes into other nieces and nephews in the month of February. My dad was February 19th. My sister's February 9th. My niece and nephew are both November 25th, I believe. Hi, Kelly. Welcome in. Or Corey. Sorry. I see the big letters Kelly. I'm pretty far from my screen. And these whole @ symbol things are throwing me for a loop. I wish they'd go back to the whole name thing. Although it does make it easy for people to search you on here. I'm going to check my pork chops. I'm going to give them a little flippy flip. You don't have to, I just do. I'm going to put a little bit of asparagus on the pan now. Princess, get out of there. Wait for her to jump up in the oven. I'm going to resume eating my potatoes. I'm going to put a little bit more oil on them. Alright, so I'm cooking down my asparagus in the oven. I'm going to put a little bit butter on them and a little bit of seasoning. I got to get the mixed vegetables for my husband out. I'm not a fan of mixed vegetables. Unless it's in like a pot pie. I always take my hands I open and put them downward into the bag. I've sliced my fingers on a can. And it was just because I was trying to push garbage down in there. No, September 3rd. I'm drinking tea tonight. I haven't been drinking the tea as much. Butter, butter. Everything's better with butter. Butter is always good. Butter, butter. Butter. Onion powder, garlic powder. Garlic powder. Onion powder. Let that thing cook. Butter and potatoes sound good tonight. There you go. Butter, butter, butter. Hi, Tex. Welcome in. We're making bread. I got bread rising in the pan. We got shake and bake pork chops, fried taters. I'm having asparagus. Whoops. And my husband's having mixed veggies. We're waiting for our bread to rise in our pans right now. She's rising pretty quick though, so I'll probably be able to throw her in the oven here after everything comes out. You're first. Yay! These are my fried potatoes. I got butter in the pan right now. What I might do, I used to have a pan, a lid. I thought I had a lid for this pan, Stephen, and I don't. So we will just cover it tightly. Improvise. Improvise. So I'm going to bake bread as soon as these pork chops come out. I'll eat dinner with you while my bread's cooking. Now, I don't know if I'm going to go live tomorrow or not. That's going to be depending on how things go tomorrow. With that cold and stuff, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I know I got a lot of errands I got to run tomorrow, and I'm hoping my will start for it. My husband's got therapy, and my son doesn't have school, so that's one good thing. So he can stay home and stay with the dogs. Go out and that. Cleaning up my mess. So how are you tonight, Tax? Let's see, I might have to refresh chat. It might have froze. We'll just see what I can do. All messages. Keeps wanting me to put these Q&A stickers up. I'm not doing that. Hi Luke, welcome in. We are having shake and bake pork chops, fried potatoes, oven roasted asparagus. My husband's having mixed vegetables, and the pork chops are almost done, so is the asparagus. I'm just waiting on the potatoes to cook a little bit. And then I'm going to throw my bread in the oven. But I got to wait for my oven temperature to drop down to 350 before I do that. That sounds amazing. I just came in to say, hey, real quick, I gotta get going. I hope you have an amazing day. You too. I always smile. Although I kind of look like I'm not because I'm trying to read. I'm blind. It smells so good in here now compared to what it did about 10-15 minutes ago. That stuff my husband had in the oven cooked off now. But everything smells really good. It's going to smell even better when this bread bakes. Just said pork chops. Just said pork chops. Fine china. Asperges. Woo! Don't do that at home, kids. Big shirt. So now I'm getting my oven back down to temperature of 350 to throw the bread in the oven, because she's almost to the top of the pan. It's nice and warm in here, so she's rising pretty quick. Don't burn your fingertips like I do on things. But I also worked at a pizza place, and after a while you have no feeling in your fingers and stuff when it comes to heated things. I actually miss that pizza place. I worked there for many years. We still eat there, and I still make the pizza like there. I make homemade pizza too. She's almost about there. Thank you, William. I try. I'm just a ordinary person. I try. I cook. That's what I'm good at. I like to cook. I like to bake. Not so much, my driving can be a nightmare doing DoorDash Live. And I feel more comfortable in my kitchen than I do in my car on lives. And there's always that fear. I don't want, like, knock on wood, if I were to be in an accident, I wouldn't want that viewed on a live. It's just my feeling and thought on it. My potatoes are not quite done all the way through. Best way to check is to see if your fork goes through them, or break a little piece and try it. They should be like soft, not crunchy. So they're almost done. They're not quite there though. And at that point, when you're tasting it like that, you can also taste and see if you need more salt, pepper, onion powder, or garlic powder on them. I definitely do know my onions are cooked in there though. I probably could have waited to put those onions in a little bit. But it's a learning curve. Every time you cook, it's a learning curve. My pork chops and asparagus are done though. And my mom always taught me, you don't want anything to run pink or bloody. So always put a fork in it and push a little bit. And if it comes out any pink in it, it is not done. My mom always taught me that. Otherwise, you can take if you're not confident with that, you can take a thermometer and do the internal temp to make sure it's at 165. My sweet potato last night didn't get done until a half hour after I went off my live. That thing took forever to cook. Alright, so my bread has reached the top of the glass. So I'm going to take these and throw them in the oven. They're going to rise even higher than the glass in the oven. And I put that on for 30 minutes in the oven. And then I have a towel I'm going to put down on my island. And then I'm going to put a cooling rack over the top of that. Because as soon as they come out of the oven in 30 minutes, you gotta butter the tops and you want to dump them out right away, and they need to cool. They gotta completely cool. They're done. My potatoes are done. Plate. Oh yeah, those are done too. Pop. Snap, crackle, pop for those. Steven, you can make a plate. You'll be on the live though, just so you know. So this is my plate.
Delicious. Looks good too.
Here comes the hubby. He's gonna help himself to a plate. Done on the inside. I just realized we had a clock just like that I'm not sure what happened to it. We got that off of Amazon back in 2016, and it fell apart and died, and we got a new one. So you can get it on Amazon, but I don't know if you got Amazon there or not. Hot. Mmm.
You got your plate.
Okay. Yeah, I got my plate. Those potatoes are real hot, so be very careful.
Okay.
Ooh. I gotta take a picture of my food, or I put in how much the ounces are of everything. What I did last time is I just put the amount I had on my plate while I was eating with you guys and took a picture of it that way. Afterward. So it's all good. Mmm. I'm making pretzels tonight after I'm off the live. I want a snack and I'm out of pretzel bites in my freezer, so I'm going to make some up tonight. Oh, interesting. It's a good thing though, because you're making your own yeast. You don't have to buy the stuff in the store. I'm starting to see these other versions of sourdough, which are with potato flakes. I've been kind of wanting to try to do that, but then I thought no, because we're going to go for a house and I don't want to get all into starting a starter again. So we're just going to wait until after we get a house and I'm going to experiment with a lot of things. Now these potatoes, you can peel them if you want, but I leave the skins on. They don't teach the kids here to cook anymore. They took that out of the schools. They also took out our cursive handwriting. They took out a bunch of things out of the schools here for teaching the kids. Which is kind of disappointing, because I think they should have cooking classes for these kids, because, you know, fast food's going to end up killing everybody. I was a leading example of it, because during COVID, that's all we ate. I'm kind of mad at myself because I gave my son bad habits. I got up to 260 pounds. I'm now down to 200. We're hoping we can go lower. I'm starting to break down how much I put on my plate too when I eat, because the less on my plate and the slower I eat, the faster I get full. Now all this is going to be easy cleanup. My kitchen will be brand new after I relax, after I eat. Because I'll do dishes up until it's time for bed. I slowly do them. So did you like the sourdough? Sourdough is kind of, you either like it or you don't. My husband doesn't like the sour taste of sourdough, but if I like make cinnamon rolls because it masks it, he loves it. I'm going to stay on a little bit longer until this bread is done so I can pull it out and you guys can kind of see it when it comes out. Then I'm probably going to end the live after it comes out. I don't know, I want to eat that like that. Welcome in, everybody. We're eating dinner. Pork chop is done. Got fried potatoes, asparagus. I'm waiting on the bread to come out the oven. It'll be out of the oven in about 18 minutes. And then I'm going to lightly butter the top. And I'll dump it out on a cooling rack. And then it's got to cool overnight. And then I got to keep my dog out of the kitchen at that time because he will run off with it. He's a bread thief. He'll run off with the whole dang loaf. I'm already full. I'm gonna watch The Masked Singer tonight. Get caught up. I don't have cable. I have Hulu, so I can watch it, but I gotta wait until the day after it airs on live TV. I also want to watch that Fear Factor with the guy from Jackass in it. I'm incredibly full already. I barely ate. I think this is gonna be it. Yeah, I'm good. I started a high protein, high fiber diet, and since I've started it, like, I get full pretty quick. Steven, after I'm off the live, we need to make Michael a hamburger.
What?
Michael a hamburger
Okay.
after I'm off the live.
Okay. You bite.
Ready?
Yep.
You want me to save these or not?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so. Might be a leftover night tomorrow. Easy cleanup.
Huh?
Easy cleanup. I just gotta wash my dishes for the night. Easy carrots. Easy carrots. Fresh bread, bacon, smell it. Smell it?
Yeah. That smells good.
No. Da, 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 da. 12 minutes for fresh baked bread to come out the oven. Smell-o-vision. Woo! Makes you feel accomplished when you make something from scratch at home. And especially if everybody likes it. Gotta wipe down my mixer too, get all that flour off of it. But I do bread once a week or once every 2 weeks. We don't eat bread very often in our house, but my husband's like, I want some toast with some eggs, so we might do like omelets tomorrow with mushrooms, onions, green peppers, either sausage or bacon in it, and then some cheese. And I got fresh spinach leaves I'm going to put in mine because I need that for fiber intake. So I'll probably put a lot of that actually in mine. I'm on the GLP-1 medication. It's called Wegovy. It's like Ozempic. It actually is Ozempic. It's just, it's listed differently for people who are not diabetic. Ozempic is for diabetes. Wegovy is for a person who doesn't have that. But I'm doing really good on them. My weight's been maintained on the Wegovy, where on the Zepbound I was losing a lot. So we're working on diet habits, and I think when I go back on Zepbound in a few months, I'll start dropping more weight, but I'll have better eating habits than what I had beforehand. I didn't care what I was really eating because I barely ate with that other medication. So I would eat anything that I wanted to. And you can't do that. You have to eat a lot of protein and fiber because them shots will constipate you. And the shot will also cause muscle deterioration. And I don't want that. It'll cause sunken in cheeks and stuff like that, like you see with Kelly Osbourne and Sharon Osbourne. And I can't say for sure with Kelly because they didn't talk about her being on a GLP, but her mother did openly. So I'm not their doctors or anything, but I know Sharon Osbourne talked about it openly. She doesn't regret it, and I don't regret it either because it's basically saving my life. And I don't have to have them cut me open and rearrange stuff and cut stuff out to help me lose the weight. This bread smells so good. I wish you guys could smell this bread. And this is sandwich bread. This isn't a normal loaf of bread. Those usually like crumble and fall apart. And because I used honey and olive oil in it, it makes it really fluffy and it doesn't fall apart. Thank you everybody for staying with me this long. It's kind of hard to entertain in the kitchen for a long period of time. Because like I was trying to do sourdough at one period live and that process takes forever. It's a lot of waiting where I can do things around my house in the process with sourdough making. I'm going to make sure my heat's at a certain temperature, and we got stuff over the windows because this dropping down to minus 45 by 8 a.m. is not going to be kosher. And my car is parked on the street, and the side of the street it's on, because we have no choice, you got to do every other side, and it's the other side, it's going to be facing in the wind, so I'm just hoping everything will start up. I might go out there randomly and start my car early in the morning. I don't have to go out, I just hit the buttons on my keys. Okay. 5 more minutes, guys. 5 more minutes for fresh baked bread. I'm actually going to rotate it in the oven a little bit. And I might give it a couple more minutes longer than the 5 because she's not as brown on top as I would like for her to be. Now, I usually, when I make this, it's because I'm making French toast for the family. But he wanted toast with his omelette. And all I got is 12 grain toast because that's what I can eat. So I have to make him bread. And I refuse to buy it in the store if I can make it. I need to be more proactive on doing my homemade stuff. We're going to do a night next week. I think I'm going to do my tacos and I'm going to make my, it's not my Spanish rice. It's a family member's recipe with chorizo. I'll make that maybe next week. I do too. I like cooking at home. You need a little bit more convenient items, so not a lot of my stuff is like 100% homemade, so some of it's processed, but I'm making it at home. I'm not going through the drive-thru and getting it for myself. It's called making better choices. That's what I call it, making better choices. I make overnight oats now, and I have them for breakfast. For lunch, I have a 12 grain piece of toast with avocado. Yep, French toast. And I make a good French toast. My husband really likes it. You mix your eggs, you put orange juice. You just hear it out. You put orange juice in there. It gives it a hint of orange, and it's really good. And then some cinnamon, and you mix that really well. And then you cook it. It's simple. It's easy. You use orange juice over milk in your eggs. Some people just use the eggs, but I do orange juice in it. I call it my famous orange French toast. Aren't you tired? You're waiting for that bread to come out too, so you can try to snag it, aren't you? Oh no, I got your number. I got your number. My dog's waiting there. I know he is. Sneaky sucker. We got a baby gate that we have to keep up when I do stuff in my kitchen. Because even to sit down and eat after a meal, if I don't put it up immediately, he'll be in here trying to get himself a plate. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes and then I'm going to pull it. I'm going to get my butter over here. I'm going to bring you over here. Hopefully I don't get the circle of death over here again. And you can kind of see it when it comes out, and I'll show you. I can turn this off now. That stuff's done being smoky. That's kind of loud, that fan. I don't like it. I think they're more noise makers than they are to ventilate. It's just got a filter on there. It'll suck it through the filter and it shoots it right back out the top. Handy dandy little plastic fork. Now, the original recipe for this bread, when I watched it to learn how to make it, she used a whole stick of butter melted over the top. And I don't agree with that, because that will give you soggy bread. You changed your name, didn't you? Is that you, Tex? It sure is. It sure is. I like that though. I do like that. Alright, I'm gonna pull it out of my oven. Now, if you like your top a little bit darker, then I would leave it in a little bit longer. And then I am going to take about a tablespoon or two, and I'm just going to rub it over the top of the bread. After I get this buttered, I'm going to let it sit 1 minute, and then I'm going to dump it onto a cooling rack. Because you don't want your bread to get crispy in the pan. You want it to get soft. Try to get down up in these edges of the loaf pan too. You're going to do both loaves. That's what gives your bread that shiny top. And that looks about there. I think she's good. And then we'll wait a minute, and then I gotta dump her out to let her completely cool. Whoa. Bread. 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 Homemade bread. And it is the best bread I've had. You made another account? Okay, well then we need to do this. Oh, da, 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 da. There you go. I'll have to look it up later. Because I can't go on here and do anything. I have to go back and do it. We made you blue. Alright. Let's get you back over here for the bread dump. Alright. Ain't no perfect magic to dumping this out. Just dump it out. Don't let it roll onto the floor though. And then I take my bare hands and get it on the cooling rack. And there's my bread. Perfect sandwich bread. Wash it pretty soft. Now that's got completely cool, and I gotta keep my dogs out of here so they don't eat it. Because my one dog, he'll climb up on here and grab a loaf and run. And I don't cut into it until it's completely cooled. If you like warm bread, go ahead. But I think with sandwich bread, you need to let it cool completely before you cut into it. But I'm going to end the live here because I got to get dishes done and I got to relax for the evening. You guys, thank you for coming in. Thank you for keeping me busy and occupied while I cook. I will put notifications up next time I go live. And I hope to see you then. and you'll see what kind of meal I'm cooking because I'll put it in there. So have a great day. Bye.